morning, monkeys. Welcome to another episode of Monkeylandia here at Coaster Monkey Studios. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Gabriel, Coaster Monkey, and what I do here is build a lot of stuff in Planco. I do some vlogs here on my channel where I travel the country and go to different theme parks, and I play RCT Classic on iPad and soon to be on my computer. If you like what you see here, don't forget to like and subscribe just below. And if this is not your first time here, well then welcome back. I'm glad to see you revisited the channel. So what do we got going on today? Well, we are going to continue our build that we've got going on here just around our crazy taxi coaster. And again, this area here, the more I look at it, the more it reminds me of downtown Brooklyn, Park Slope, Clinton Hill, Murray Hill. But the original intention was like a Central Park-ish area. But I'm feeling more Park Slope-ish, and I'm kind of digging it. Maybe like North Central Park, you know, like 110, 120, around, you know, South Harlem. Very similar to that. But yeah, so what are we doing? We are building concession stands. My guests were complaining a lot there was nowhere to eat when I was doing this, so I built a ton of concession stands. So yoo-hoo! And these concession stands become brownstones. Single floor brownstones. I should have done them 3-level high. But yeah, and what it's going to do is these buildings are going to wrap the interior of our hub. Remember, our park is a hub and spoke. And if you do not know what I'm talking about, then check back in the beginning of our vlogs. Here, I'll put up a link up at the top of the screen, and we will get that vlog link up for you and the playlist. And you'll be able to watch Monkeylandia from the very beginning. Ooh, ah. So, what am I doing over at Street Fox? I have no idea what I'm doing over here. I'm looking at my Street Fox coffee and going, ooh. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Sorry, guys. We're going to go back there in like 3, 2, 1. Am I having a brain fart? Maybe I'm having an aneurysm while I'm doing this. I don't know what's going on. And there we go. I have no idea why I went to go look at Street Fox. But yeah, back to our brownstone. So I put these columns up front. Absolutely hated them. I wound up taking them down. They're too grand for that building. But what I do here is I love these in-wall air conditioning units. So I had this space on my wall, and I was like, what do I fill it with? And, you know, hey, air conditioning units always do the trick. Flower boxes too. They give you a nice feeling of layer. If you feel like your buildings don't have enough je ne sais quoi, a little bit of life, then you can throw those in, and it'll help elevate or liven up your build. I think I'm pretty sure I take these columns out of here. I mean, they need to go. I do not like them as I'm sitting here looking at them going, no way, no, remove them, take it out. You know, I totally know I take it out, right? Yeah, so what do we got going on? Well, I just got back from Hershey Park and Six Flags Great Adventure. By the time you see this, this will have been like 2 weeks ago. And when you see this, I am currently in Six Flags over Georgia, down in Atlanta. Yeah, so I'm doing some Atlanta trip. I'm going to be hitting Six Flags over Georgia. We'll be hitting the Coca-Cola Museum. I want to go to the Botanical Gardens. They got a huge topiary exhibit, which I'm super stoked for. We'll get all that up on the channel. And we are going over to Dollywood and Pigeon Forge, which I'm really stoked for. Oh, look, see, I changed out those columns. How much better do those look compared to those big Greco-Roman columns, which are so blasé. But yeah, so as you're watching this, I'm currently on a little bit of a summer holiday. And then when I get back, all that stuff will be up on the channel. So from a blog perspective or a vlog perspective, the last vlog that you guys are going to see is my vlog to Hershey Park from today, which I was at. And I will post that up on the top of the link here. Bam. And hopefully you guys will be able to see that. And that is if I can get that vlog up and remember to put it on this particular episode. But we're going to buzz through here a little bit. I'm going to let the camera roll and let you guys kind of vibe with it. And I will be back in a couple minutes when there's something interesting to talk about. Catch you guys in a bit. All right. So as we build out our second concession stand here, brownstone number 2, one thing came to mind, and that was back of house. So I built a couple back of house areas back here for staging, garbage, all that stuff. And you figure the truck would drive through, while park hours are not operational, obviously. The garbage truck would drive through the actual streets of the park. It's something I experienced when I visited Six Flags Great Adventure this past Wednesday. Went for a promo shoot with Good Morning Philly. And we got to see all the back of house stuff. And there were so many cars in the park driving around. I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. Super weird. But yeah, so you figure that's something that'll be a thing. And that's what I tried to create here, that kind of feel, that vibe-ish, as to kind of what goes on here. My biggest regret, I would say, of this particular area here is that it's a little loose for me. It's not as realistic as I wanted it to feel and you'll see when we get a little bit later in the episodes, I wanted to build a working location, like a transfer track, a working location. What do you call it? A maintenance building. There you go. Maintenance building for the Crazy Taxi Coaster. And I just couldn't figure it out. How to make it fit. I could have stuck it right there on that left-hand side of that building, but it would have been too tight. It wouldn't have looked good. It would have bothered the heck out of me. But here we are building out our mini brownstone here. And again, when it comes to that realism that you're looking for, look at the flower boxes, look at the wires going across. You know, there's a lack of conformity or a lack of synchronicity across it. It's sporadic, it's random, and it's that randomness that makes it feel realistic. And I think that's the piece of the puzzle that many people miss. You know, being in fashion for so many years, there's a phrase that Coco Chanel uses, and that's, after putting everything on, take the last accessory you put on off, and you're finished. So if you know, again, layering is everything. Overdo it, pack it up, right? Fill it up. But then take a step back and look at it and say, okay, well, is there something I could remove here that doesn't make it look too matchy-matchy or too repetitive? And that's what I started feeling like was happening with these buildings. When I got to this building, I was like, okay, these buildings kind of all start to mesh and look the same a little bit. That's why you'll see the building in the next episode and our station building, which I love, are completely different. All right, they're realistic buildings. They're real buildings that exist in real life. And I totally stole the idea. But what I did was I changed the vibe of the area a bit, and it gives it a little grander feel. And that's what I wanted for the station and for the ride itself, right? Because you want it to feel like you're driving through Manhattan, not through a forest, you know? And that's, I hope I achieved that. Tell me what you guys think. Those of you that are watching this, all 7 of you that watch my channel, thank you, by the way. All of you that are currently subscribed and watch my channel religiously, you guys rock. A phrase that I use, awesome sauce. You are awesome sauce, so thank you. But yeah, so tell me what you think. If you think I hit the mark with my crazy taxi coaster. And what we're going to do is, you know, again, we'll throw a link up here. Boom, right there. For Crazy Taxi Coaster. I know I've been putting it up a bit, but you guys get the point, right? I want you guys to watch that video. If you haven't watched the video, watch the video. I'm yelling at you now. Watch the video. But no, tell me if I hit the mark. What you guys think. Comment on this video. Comment on the Crazy Taxi video. Whatever you want. Always copacetic, my dude. My dudes. Males, females, and otherwise. But yeah, look at this little back. I love this, right? The color change of the painting the terrain is such a thing for me now. I love painting the terrain. I want to do different things with it. Just wait for future episodes. You're going to see what I did. There's this giant area where this, oh my God, it's just so fantastic. Oh, I get chills thinking about it. But yeah, so painting the terrain and this backstage area, totally dig it. I love the lights. And as I was walking through the backstage area, I noticed there's a lot of this, exactly this, at Six Flags Great Adventure. And I was like, okay, I can totally vibe with this. You know, I hit the mark with my park, which makes me feel good. Now I need you all to criticize me and tell me how good of a job I'm doing. Kidding. So as I was building out this particular area here and putting in these spots, right? So you've got these spots that are safety spots for our employees. I was thinking, okay, this train goes through here, but it's this big empty space. Like, how do we make it feel more condensed? Like you're flying through traffic, like through buildings, all that fun stuff. And you'll see what I do in a second. And you saw it in the intro video. And I do more of it here in this area. And I really love this whole idea. I see me stepping back and kind of looking at the overall picture. That's another thing you guys need to do. When you're building your park, look at your areas that you're building from every possible angle. Above, from guest level, from afar. What does the sight line look like? Sight lines are everything. And in the next area, I actually built my coaster with the, you know, I wanted the lift hill to face in the park, but the elements within the ride work so much better facing the park. So I have the lift hill face out into the distance, overlooking the mountains, which I think is still a cool, cool look. But yeah, so around here, so I've got these giant spotlights that light the coaster from underneath. It's a very Steel Vengeance kind of thing to do. And then I came along with these bushes and just covered all the area, because if you know Central Park or Prospect Park, built by the same infrastructure and landscaping designer, if you didn't know that. But this designer, the whole park looks like that, right? So I wanted it to feel that way. And one thing I regret not doing is going back and roughing up that terrain a bit and making it not so flat. But I think the elements I created, or the feeling I created with the bushes on the floor, gives variation to the ground level. So I'm okay with it. I hope you guys like it, because I totally dig it. Here I am throwing in some crazy taxi signs, and there's going to be a lot of these around. You're going to see we're going to create a structure. I don't know if it's the next episode or maybe the episode after, but we create a structure that I call Tunnel Tower. So the Smiler has the Marmalizer, and Crazy Taxi has Tunnel Tower. And you guys will see what that is in a later episode. It's a little bit of spoiler for you. But here we are building that additional piece to create that cage feeling. Again, you're on a crazy taxi ride, so you want to feel like you're, zooming in and out of all this crazy elements. So that's what I was doing here, again, with the Crazy Taxi. You'll notice this type of element reappears quite a few times as you're riding through the ride. And if you go back to that link of the Crazy Taxi coaster, you'll get to see all that in action. Oh, and if you like what you see here, don't forget to click like and subscribe for more. See, I remembered. Yay, woohoo! I was actually looking at the screen when it popped up this time. So now what's great about this is I'm triggering the taxi, I'm triggering the lights, I'm triggering the horn. I wanted to create that shock moment as you're traveling by on the coaster. And I think it's a successful look. It's a successful vibe. It hits the mark exactly where we want it. And my voice is a little raspy. I apologize, guys, if I'm a little raspy. I've been screaming on coasters all day. And then here, it's so funny. So I didn't know what to do with this big empty space. And who did I ask? I think it was Zayfor. If you guys don't know who Zayfor is a part of the Planet Channel 5 coaster, Channel 5 Gaming Discord. He's one of the moderators there, and he's on the channel, on Channel 5 Gaming. And I was like, yeah, what do I do here? And Zayfor was like, yeah, maybe, get some crates in there, put some pallets, maybe some barrels. And I was like, oh, duh. It's a shipping and, containment area, excuse me. So that's what I did. And I think it hits the mark again. It gives that feeling of being, like you're riding in a crazy taxi behind the scenes, behind these, brownstones and buildings and whatnot. And I do love the way the lighting came out with this. And again, as you're riding on the ride and these buildings are all flashing by you, it's so spot on. Then I look at that vantage point. Again, you got to look at those vantage points. What do those vistas look like? What is your guest getting when they're looking down the street or at an attraction? And that's how you really create that sense of realism and an elevation within your park. That was me playing around with the fireworks. I haven't played with fireworks yet. I'm so excited to do so. Oh my God, you have no idea. It's going to be exciting. All right, and there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this episode of Coaster Monkey Studios. Apologize again for the voice. Don't forget to click here to subscribe for more, and we will catch you next time.